It's your boy Fight Critic here to give you guys another video. Before we jump into it, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to drop any comments on any topics you would like for me to cover, and as well any videos that you want me to take a look at, as well as to leave any sort of rebuttal or reaction to. I'm here to, talk to you about the breaking news today. So what dominated social media, especially Twitter, was the fact that Colin Kaepernick is back in Madden. So as you know, Madden 21 recently came out. It's literally a copy and paste version of its previous seasons. I don't think I need to make a video talking about how bad Madden 21 is. But if you're gonna spend money on a football game, don't do it to Madden. You should save your money. And I say that as somebody who's, I played Madden 20 for an extensive period of time, and after a while, there's just nothing there. There's no substance to it. EA has pretty much kind of dialed into um, putting out a product that doesn't really have much of any substance to it, and really just putting out things that are mostly built around, you know, transactions, microtransactions. So the fact that they're throwing Kaepernick into this game is actually quite surprising, to be honest. One of the big reasons why I think this move is really, really shocking is because, EA in the past and the NFL in the past have received criticism for trying to blacklist Colin Kaepernick references in the game. So the fact that he's in this game as a player that you can not only, put on your team and sign in free agency, but it's also they've made him useful. So the big thing is that this news has really pissed off a lot of people who, of course, they don't really like Colin Kaepernick, and to be honest, they really don't play Madden. If we want to be honest about it, anybody who's a Madden, really like a really diehard Madden player, they're not spending as much time worrying about Colin Kaepernick's 81 overall in this game. For them, they're looking at how can I take this and turn it into some picks and franchise. That's essentially what the thought process is. If you're a Madden player, I'm thinking about should I sign him in free agency and try to flip him for some picks. I think that's what we're kind of looking at for the most part. But many people were kind of up in arms about why is he rated so highly, considering that you've got a lot of young quarterbacks who showed that they had some game, and they're not even close to being ranked to Kaepernick's 81 overall. So when you look at notable names such as Daniel Jones, Kyler Murray, not many people think that Colin Kaepernick at this point in his career is better than those two individuals. Now I'm not going to speak on if he's better or not, but what I will tell you is, from my perspective, that I think Kyler Murray and I think Daniel Jones are ranked too low in Madden, which is my initial thought when I saw the rankings come out. If you feel as if Colin Kaepernick is not, the type of player that you want to see have such a high overall in comparison to a lot of the young quarterbacks in the league, then complain to EA. That's their job to kind of fix it. Don't get angry at people on the internet because they are looking forward to having Kaepernick back into the game. I think this is mostly a ploy on EA for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's a lot going on in today's world when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement. Sorry about that. People, letting their opinions be known about things such as police brutality, and most recently, the NFL taking a complete 180, especially in recent weeks, because they've started to realize how wrong they were when it came to Kaepernick. And I made a video on Kaepernick a really long time ago talking about how he's being vindicated with everything that was happening around that time. And it just continues to happen today. You see more and more people, completely change their opinion about Kaepernick and move into the realm of, they believe that what he was doing ultimately made a ton of sense. And he was standing up for people that were being marginalized and oppressed and being killed and being wronged. And it took so much time for Cap to be vindicated, and now he finally is. So what you're seeing is EA basically realizing that it's no longer a deterrent to promote Kaepernick. It's now seen to be in good light. So that's why I think that they've put Kaepernick back into Madden. I also think it's also going to be a ploy for them to kind of just be like a segue into what they plan on doing as far as keeping track of metrics. And the big reason why I say this is if NFL teams are worried about Kaepernick and the backlash and him doing things in terms of speaking to the media in specific ways, a lot of that tends to be overshadowed with money. And if this is used as sort of a gauge tool to see how interested are Madden players into putting Colin Kaepernick on their teams or putting him into Ultimate Team, then I think it's something that will strive for the owners to take it more seriously when it comes to actually signing him to a roster. Because at the end of the day, if the guy isn't quote unquote, good for business, but if you notice that over millions of players who play this game want him on a team and they're using the video game as a way to put him onto a team, then obviously that's going to, take into effect how they feel, ultimately. The owners can do whatever they want at the end of the day. But I do feel that Kaepernick kind of taking, control of his narrative was something that they weren't expecting to end up happening in good faith. And it did. It worked out for him. He's been able to sustain not only his activism but also his philanthropy, which is super important. He's been able to continue to educate young people around the country. He's been able to continue to use his voice and his platform and to do everything in his way. I'm really looking forward to what he does in terms of publishing. And at the same time, a lot of people continue to kind of, walk back in terms of the way that they've kind of gone about things, in terms of like what he's been able to do. I mean, and you kind of see that kind of happen. You know, they tried their hardest to make this guy seem so un-American, so unpatriotic. And a lot of the times you do also just need time and vindication for people to see, you know, how much things will change and how much, you can have a stance and then completely look at it in a different mindset when you see everything unfold. Um, so it's quite interesting. I was really going to make a video talking about Kaepernick and LeBron James, but I think I'm going to save that one. But if you guys do want me to talk about Kaepernick and LeBron James, I have no problem talking about it. But I'll let you guys decide that.